All right with you. Welcome to another video here on the channel. Today we are going to talk about CS within the platform. Autistic. One entered here from the channel asked me how I did it to line up something on the screen, the right, the left, up, down. And today I'm going to talk about the classes that already come by default, how we can use them, where we found. And I will also teach how to create one class and how to place the inside one container of one text, if needed. If you want to know about it, I explain after the vignette. Let's go. So let's start. I created this very simple application here. And put for containers here, there is a main. 3 more containers divided here, the first, second, and the third. Let's talk about colors first, okay? Here inside the OutSystems, most of everything we have here, of these widgets, there are these classes here. What is it for? The platform. She already brings a gigantic library. It's colored, of spacing and all. So it didn't help. For example, I came here in class style. Now that I've explained it to you, for example, well, I want to put one white color, for example. Here in my main container, there's no use coming here to write white, for example. He shows me here he's seeing, because there is one class who has this white name. But if I spoke here that I want to put there's no use writing white here, or black, for example. That nothing will happen. For this we need to use the classes even of the autistic kind. Here in this guide here from styles, we managed to change that, okay? If I come here in color, for example, and put it here in the red, he did this. Are you seeing? And that he applied with the red color here. But because I can't do that, right? Is one question that many people have. Why doing so will generate a technical deficit in your application when you go into is to see the state of health. Let's say like this, of your application, you will see that you will have this technical debt. This is, or anything else I do here. For example, I will come here and I will increase it from here. Everything I do here generates one CSS online T. This type of CSS generates technical throughput. That is not one good thing for your application. One of the things you can do, case, already have a lot of CSS online and have done it this way, is to come here, and you see, if you click here, automatically, he opens this pop-up, and I'm going to write here test. And when I confirm, he goes to CS. He disappears from here. Are you seeing? He takes from here, creates one test class with the information that was down here. In this field here, that is being increased. When we use this panel, but let's get it from here. After this brief explanation, and let's go to what I said. Autistic, she has here this site born, this page. I will leave it in the description. It's in the description here of the video. And here's basically everything inside the OutSystems is seeing. It's the widgets. They're here. The edge types. Buttons right, with its colors is. Your types, your shapes. But let's start with the colors. It has one color range. Gigantic, very, very big. Here, if you want to create one application using just that from here, you can easily. But let's go then. Apply one color ollie on that main container. Let's put, for example, a blue. How I do it here? We have the color itself, right? The hex color of this evil, and these other three options. It will depend, right? Will depend on where you are going to apply. If you want to apply, for example, in a container, right? I will come here. I will copy this color, for example. I can copy or right there. It's here in my main container. I will put this color, or are you seeing? And here he has all those others. Just click, drag down everything you have. With blue, for example, it will filter and show, and everything in the background, he will show here. Ready, put the first color here. And I want to put colors too. For mine. For my 3 with tennis, let's put here. Following here the blue too. This other blue one is very light. You can copy. If you know by color, a lot. Over time we decorate and type. But if you don't know, come here, copy, there's no problem with that. And comes here in your container that you want. Color glue. Do the same thing in this one. And in this one. Ready, and how the deal came, right? Can't tell what it is. Let's assume that I want giving one padding born. I want increase, expand the sides here, my main container, so that others stay there centralized within it. How do I do it? Let's go back here. In our library and I will look here, for example, in spacing. Here are the types of spacing. Are you seeing? Show the drawing here for you to have an idea of how it will look like. It's what stays in and what it expands out here. It is and also shows in pixels. The size 4 pixels 816. Let's assume that I want a padding that is not the smallest of all, but not too big. So let's put, for example, this padding piece here. I will copy, but I will not stick. I will write. Here you can see that it also happens for you to put more than one class inside the same container or inside same edits. You just give a space. Here's the first one that we put. Gives a space and puts another. No case. I will put the left stroke foot. When I click here, ready, it has already expanded. The main card got bigger, right? And the others stayed inside. Now let's assume I want that these containers of mine from inside, they don't have that square tip. It is not completely square. There's class for that too. You can come here. Let's look for borders here. Oh, he also already has here. Already. It's all, you don't need to create anything from zero. Assume I want. This one is soft, I don't want. One very edge. Very exaggerated. I want something good. Simple that I do. I copy here, the class is. Come back here. And now, yes, click. Here in my first one I give a little space. Controversial. Let me. You see the difference? It already gets prettier. Let's put this one. And in that other two. Ready. We made one small drawing here right now. We are actually going here too. For our question from our subscriber here. Ready, I have 3 containers here obviously. I want them to be allied. A line between them, right? Autistic she has. Let me come back here. She has classes for that too. Let me come here, must be in space. Let me see if in space. This right here. Here is. I can give a top margin for example. And my container it will go down. I can give a margin button. There is the bottom part of the container that will be moved. I can give a right margin. One left bank is. So let's assume I want that one of our Ollie containers has one margin of 8 pixels. How do I do it here? If I copy this class, top margin S, he will take 8, and there it goes. So let's put this one here. Or for example, top margin S, I will copy here. I'm going to come in this first container of mine here. And like I said, okay, it's kind of weird like this. At first you might think it's wrong. But nah, always gives a little space. Controversial. As you can see, he came down here. He went down exactly 8 pixels. And let's say for some reason I made a mistake. And the second container, I put 24 pixels. Margin top M. I will come here. No second container. Go here. It doesn't matter, the order is fine. Became misaligned. Are you seeing? It dropped 24 pixels. And the third, I will put the same class, which is the top S margin. I will come here. Margin trace top. Stroke S. Beauty now. As you can see, only this one is discouraged. And now how do I get there? I could very well, for example, take this class right. This top margin here, if I change the M for the S, ready, I fixed everything right. But let's go now for A. By a different case is what I will explain now. How to create a class. It's good. Here the maximum of the maximum is the margin, which has 48 pixels. But let's go. Imagine I have one project that I have to give one margin of 50 pixels. How am I going to do this? Simple stuff. Let's come here in CSS on this. On this little button, it's on my home page. Because in this case, I want to apply. It's a class just for that here. If it was a class I wanted, that my entire system used right, I would come here on this line. And then all screens could use this theme. But let's go back home. I will put the name of this class here. Of point. Yes. Then I will say the following. Or you type here. He already helps you. He already appears. Here are all options. In case I want a top margin, right? Simple as that, guys. Top margin. I said I want 1 out of 50 pixels, right? And ready. Just you come here, for example, in this. On this first of mine, that goes with that margin top S. And I'm going to get this little guy out of here. And I will type hero align. Keep looking that he will even appear from align. Ready, he went down there. Are you seeing? And so you can create as needed of your application. Here I showed it down. But let's talk. And it was the opposite. Oh, margin button. He threw it up there and you see. And obviously, it was from being in here in this other container. And I have not treated it. It stayed that way. Apparently ugly it is. But let's go back here, or let me give one Control V. If I wanted to put this first container on the side. Yes. Here to the side. But I don't want to use the OutSystems classes. I have nothing there that makes me want to wear that pattern. It's not for me. Simple. You'll have to create in the hand, okay? So you have to know, even if it's a little CS. Come here. Is if I created an Argentopia, and I want my container be to the right. I will create one left margin. One left margin. I want him to drag him down to my right, 5 pixels for example, from PM. He faced, are you seeing? And why did you mess up Danilo like that? Because here my containers were already divided. It's only between the 12 columns and there was no more room for anything else. That's why it just happened. Let me take that margin left. Let's say now I want it to be the other way around. I want him to work 5 pixels to my left. So I apply one right margin here. He faced, as you can see here. Let me click. It has one small space of 5 pixels here. Here on this side, are you seeing? And obviously, mess everything up, so you have to go tidying up using your own CST. Let's go here now for one last feature. What I want to show you, okay? Yeah, I have my container here, right? But I'm going to drag another container here, down from it. I don't want you to stay in it. Let me get him out. And put it down here, ready to go. Already remembering, I will put one margin, relatively large, top margin L, to be separated one thing from the other. And here inside this container, I will drag. Let me see, for example, one button and one checkbox. As you can see, let me click here for him to create one action and create one variable for this checkbox for them to stop giving error. As you can see, they are misaligned, right? Then you ask me, I could create a class here too. Put this checkbox here in the middle. Of course could. There's no problem with that, but it would have a lot of work. It's unnecessary. This could be done with CS. Because what I'm going to show you is one class S that you can use using same code. But autistic people bring it here by default. Oh, you come here and type a line. There is a line. And there will be this align center. So that this little guy serves. You will see that interesting. Oh, I'm going to come here inside this container of mine underneath. Okay, I'll get my align. And I'm going to drag him up hero. What he will do, he has this content here. Are you seeing? He even looks is from Ayrton Street line. What do I put inside? It will automatically align, okay. So here I get my button and my checkbox, who are now misaligned, and drag in here, or are you seeing? He got lined up. But Danilo got stuck. It didn't turn out nice. Oh, no problem. You can come here. There are two things you can do. Look, for example, put this here in a container. This here in another container. And after you put it in the container, you can apply those classes there that we have already seen, right? Or for example, I want move away from the left here, right? Then the left bank. Stroke S. Ready here. How beautiful are you seeing? And so guys, is you can stir little by little is in your application and make her beautiful not only with colors, but over time, you will decorate the autistic classes. It's good that you study CST for you to get also implement things that go beyond autistic classes, because sometimes it is necessary, and things like alignment. It's either up and down, either 1 pix or 10 pix. You go catching that with the passage of time is, if you like front-end just like EU, doesn't care that things don't come from nowhere, are not fast. Nobody decorates everything. Nobody has everything in mind. It's good just as you're learning. I am too. There are people who are at a very high level, others at the lowest level, other requirement. But the important thing is always wanting to learn. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video so far. If you are not subscribed to the channel, registers, share, comments for this video to reach more people who are studying autistic programming in general, and also want to learn, just like us. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.